Welcome to That's Good Broncos, the only sports show on the internet that still needs its mother's permission to stay out later than midnight. I am Brandon Perna, aka Little Mama's Bitch Boy, and today we're reviewing the Broncos-Texans preseason game. Here at That's Good Sports, I guarantee to have the highlights you won't see anywhere else. Like this terrified ball boy or chain crew member. His cat-like reflexes are dwarfed by his cowardice. I have a lot of respect for a man who makes a living on a football field despite having a debilitating fear of footballs. Almost as much as I respect Emmanuel Sanders for practicing his booby grabs before the game. Hike! Saturday's game in Houston was a low-scoring affair, but the Broncos left the muggy city with a 14-10 win. First, I want to address all of the trolls who claim Peyton Manning played poorly. To you, I say, shut your mouth. Check out this outside the lines throw to Demaryius. Manning was on target with the majority of his throws, starting the game 5 of 7. A few penalties and drop passes on third down is what stalled the offense, not Manning. Demaryius can't reel in this third down pass, and on another series, James Casey drops the easiest catch in the world to not convert another third down. Casey, if Manning hasn't been able to feel his fingertips for 4 years, I think you can make that catch. Brandon Marshall returned and looked to be in mid-season form, adjusting to pass coverages all over the field. Marshall makes a great read here, jumps the route, and almost picks off this pass. Then he strikes again, covering Garrett Graham, Owen Daniels' lesser replacement in Houston. Brandon Marshall is ready to make the Pro Bowl. Speaking of Pro Bowls, Chris Harris Jr. caught my eye with an eye-opening open field tackle of his own, destroying this screen pass for a 3-yard loss. The story of this preseason so far has been the Denver defensive pass rush, racking up 12 sacks in 2 games. Alfred Williams, who called the game, thinks
it may be the best unit ever put on the field to rush the passer.
I have to respect his optimism. The Broncos did finish the night with 5 sacks, which brings us to the classy balls back sack attack segment of the show. Starting things off, we've got Kayvon Webster annihilating Brian Hoyer on a corner blitz. Hoyer got up and thought he was still in Cleveland. Sylvester Williams drops a sack up the middle, pancaking his way to glory. I really hope this sack master makes the team. Chuka and Dule Sausage. God, I could say his name every game and never stop smiling. No sack here, but David Bruton savagely hits Tom Savage. How do you like getting hit like your name, Tom? The Broncos' 6th round, big man Darius Kilgo powers his way in for another sack. And finally, sack for Shaq Barrett finishes the game the exact same way he finished it last week in Seattle by sacking the QB on the second to last play of the game. Sack for Shaq, sack for Shaq, sack for Shaq Barrett coming to the house. My house one day. Brock Osweiler entered the game in the second quarter and threw a pass that was swatted into the air. My question is, how the fuck does a 6'8" quarterback have a pass swatted, tipped, or blocked? Ever. But that's okay, because Osweiler connects shortly after with Andre Caldwell for the wide open play of the game on this 57-yard touchdown strike. I think Andre Caldwell may have just popped that roster bubble everyone says he's on, or in. In the bubble? On the bubble. In the bubble. That's a weird saying. I think it comes from race cars. And as the half began to wind down, I was impressed with a couple plays Ty Sambrailo made. Look how far he pulls out, pun intended, to make a block on this quick throw to the left sideline. Shortly after, he helped spring Ronnie Hillman for a big first down here. Alfred Williams informed us this play is called a throw draw because you throw the defender up the field and then continue your block down the field. That's when the Broncos entered halftime, leading 7-0. The second half began with Todd Davis laying down the wood. He sends Chris Polk flying out of bounds. Polk gets up and then brushes his shoulder off because he still thinks it's Jay-Z's 2003. Shaq Barrett, who's a little more up to speed on Jay-Z, decides to watch the throne and violently removes the crown from Polk's head. Zach Barrett was penalized on the play, but Kevin Polk will never listen to Jay-Z again. The only major miscue from Brock Lobster during the game was this pick six he threw here in the third quarter. In all fairness, this was an amazing play by the Houston linebacker, Courtney Brown, not to be confused with former defensive end Courtney Brown, whose career ended with the Broncos in 2005. The Denver defense also looked good on the goal line. Here on 3rd and goal, the entire defensive line busts through the Texans' O-line, causing Savage to have to throw the ball away. Then on 4th and goal, number 33, Tevin Brandon somehow makes a play on this pass to keep the receiver from making a catch. Oh wait, I know how he did that. With pass interference. I'd criticize him for that play, but I can't. Because I am him. Look out for me, number 33, all over the field this year. At this point, we're coming into the 4th quarter. The Broncos are losing 10-7, and Trevor Siemian enters the game. And this week, I'm going to give Trevor Siemian the Big Dick Player Award because it might be 2 years before he even has a chance to earn it again. And he's getting it for this game-winning 4th quarter drive, starting at his own 7-yard line with less than 4 minutes to play in the game. Right away, Denver starts moving the ball with the pass from Siemian to Marcel Jensen for a 22-yard gain. No relation to my editor at the Mile High Huddle, Chad Jensen. Siemian proves he can improvise and scrambles, rolling out, keeping this play alive and finding an open receiver for a completion. And then on 3rd and 10, with a minute and 50 seconds left in the game, Siemian, from shotgun, throws a perfect strike to Jay Cutler, who got a special 1-game Broncos appearance through a contest he won on 104.3 The Fan for a 26-yard game-winning touchdown. Order in the court. Judge Perna is ready to give his verdict. Trevor Siemian equals clutch. That's a 92-yard drive with 2 minutes for a game winner. Congratulations on your first and possibly only Big Dick Player Award, Trevor Siemian. And that's how the game ended. Broncos win 14-10. Now for the fun stuff. Once Brock Osweiler took over in the 2nd quarter, Peyton Manning started playing with his Microsoft Surface Pro on the sideline with Demaryius Thomas. Do you know how to get past this level on Centipede? I know the kids are playing Angry Birds and Candy Crush and sending penis pics on Snapchat. But Centipede is a classic game, Demaryius. It's classic. Manning gaming on the sideline really isn't that big of a deal, unless you know how obsessive he is. He wouldn't give it up. Hey Brock, look, I got 7 million on Centipede. I think that's the highest ever.
I don't even know what the hell that means, Peyton.
Yeah, I bet you don't. You could barely get a score of 10, backup. I do have a bit of bad news. Well, not for me, as I can confidently say, I can now throw a football better than John Elway. Just look at him on the sideline. Are those terrible dance moves? Is he shaking and baking? It's almost as painful to watch as seeing Tim Tebow throw a football. Sorry, John. If you want some pointers, come into my parents' backyard and I'll show you how to refire the old cannon. And the stat of the day is brought to you by no one because this show is still too shitty to acquire a sponsor. But Ronnie Hillman, Juwan Thompson, and CJ Anderson all averaged at least 6 yards per carry against the Texans. This isn't a 6-yard run, but it's a manly run by Ronnie Hillman, who gets upended and still converts the 3rd down and, more importantly, holds on to the ball. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Broncos. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, and you can go get your Big Dick t-shirts, your That's Good Sports t-shirts, and your That's Good Broncos t-shirts on my website. The link is below. Buy some of my shit, buy some of my shit, buy some of my shit, buy some of my shit. Also, I'd like to announce that I am auditioning to sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y.